Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Crusader Kings 2 Fall of the Western Roman Empire Let's Play. And so, before we get things moving, I have been doing my homework between episodes. I like to kind of look around and make sure I'm not missing out on anything. And as it happens, let's go over to our nephew here, the one who stands to inherit quite a few claims from his father. So Remus Nepos. Remus Nepos needs to find himself a suitable wife down the line, and I happen to notice that this princess here is a genius. And so I think I want to go ahead and line up that betrothal. She's Romano-British, so I'm not entirely sure if this faction is even relevant. But I don't really care. We're just marrying for, you know, traits and whatnot. So I definitely want to make this happen. And it looks like this guy is more than pleased to make it so. So let's do it. And then for his younger brother, we can go ahead and arrange a marriage to her sister if we wanted to. Actually, she's not on here anymore, so I wonder if it removed the option. But there was, her sister was also on here, who's also not a bad character, but she wasn't a genius. Anyway, he's 7. Is there anybody suitable? You know what, at 7 years old, I'll probably wait, because the chances are pretty high that, you know, more potential options will pop up who aren't even born yet, and then, you know, we can decide from them. I am not going to bother arranging any sort of betrothals for my own sons because the plan there is to wait until they are, I guess, 16, and then I should be able to make the younger brother or order him to take the vows. So I should be able to send him to a monastery, no problem. With the older brother, the eldest son, who's my current heir, I can't do that. You can't force an heir to take the vows. At least that is my understanding, and very many other people's understanding of how the mechanic works. So I'm going to assume that I can't. What I can do is I can try to kidnap him. Once he's kidnapped and in my dungeon, I can then basically disinherit him and force him to take the vows. And so I think both of my sons are going to be sent off to monasteries, and that should line up my nephew, my sister's sons, the sons of Prince Romulus, who has all these titles. That should line up Remus Nepos as our heir, and he is now betrothed. Also, I want this province back, especially since it's no longer in the hands of my friend who I initially intended to give it to. So I am going to fabricate some evidence of treason again. Now, I'm just going to revoke the title from this guy and cut him loose because I don't really want him to hate me. He already likes me quite a bit, and so I'd rather not ruin that. Not that he's anybody significant, but still, the more friends you have, the better. So let's go ahead and fabricate this plot. And we'll want to go do some recruiting. 4% isn't a lot. It looks like I already have the 131 just on my own. I could get it higher if I wanted to. Let's see. How much money would I have to send you? 26. I can afford that. So let's get you to join up. And then the only other person that was potentially interested was Julius Caesar right here. Not the Julius Caesar, of course. He wants 36 gold for 34 opinion. That's not a very good exchange rate. The other guy was like 20 something for 60. Yeah, I don't really need your help. So we'll just have to make do with the 35 or so that we'll have after that. And one last thing before we get going. I was kind of looking into this war over in Italy. There's basically a giant civil war happening. There's an Italian revolt. They're fighting each other. But in terms of the main, you know, guy who's rightfully holding the thing, I have a couple of options. Now, I can claim Italy in the name of Prince Romulus. I don't necessarily want to do that. However, if we're playing long game, and we think about it, if we're able to maneuver my sons out of the picture, my heir becomes his heir. And so we could potentially claim Italy in his name, and then both kingdoms get passed to the same person, who would be the next person we play as. And so it might not be such a bad idea to claim Italy in his name at some point. The other reason I really like that is because it doesn't cost me any prestige or any gold. So I do have the prestige and gold if we need to do it this way. If we need to do the reconquest of these two individually. But if I claim Italy in his name, I would get, I assume, the same lands as Italia, but it would be in his name, so he would become the king of those. And then obviously we just have to wait until he dies, and then we die, and then Remus becomes king of both. So that's another option. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get things moving. Okay, he's going to back my plot, and the betrothal is underway in how many days? Just about a week. Our truce with these guys to our northeast end, and we'll be able to go to war for the remainder of their territory, which is going to cost me, again, more prestige and gold. I believe we're good to go right now. So for the remainder of Pannonia, it's 500 prestige, 500 gold, and that would, or at least it's showing me that it will give me those 4 remaining provinces. So do I want the remainder of Pannonia? I think I do. I think I'd like everything to the southwest of the Danube River. And so I would even want some of this. However, I don't think I have a claim on that. He's not independent, but I don't have any valid claims to exercise. So, yeah. So I'm going to need to fabricate claims on these, it looks like. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let's put it through. Let's see. We can call in allies. I don't see any point. They probably won't get here in time. And so let's not strain our relationship with them in doing that. Instead, we'll call up all of these troops, and we'll call in our legion as well. We'll have everybody meet right here. We'll get them all merged, and then we'll move in. And I think what we'll do is we'll try to crush their army initially if they decide to raise it. Otherwise, we'll just start besieging this province here, which is their acting capital. Okay, they're calling in allies. I'm not concerned. There are very few factions in this area that are able to muster the amount of troops that I am, given that we have a full legion on call. So even if they call up all of their men and their allies' men, I don't see it being an issue. Yeah, and it looks like they haven't raised any of their own forces. So we'll go ahead and besiege this. My little nephew Romulus always has his nose in the scriptures and spends all his time among the priests. Yeah, let's encourage that. This is the younger of the two. So he's going to be zealous. Yeah, let's do it. You know what I could do? If I revoke my guardianship of him and give him as a pupil to a bishop, there's a chance that he will ask to become a priest. So I could give it to you. In fact, I think I will. Hold on, what are your stats shaping up to be? You have no learning, though. No, let's just keep watching over him ourselves. We'll try to shape him along his path. I don't think he'll be a problem as a pretender. He doesn't have ambition. Yeah, he's not ambitious. So he could just be a really good extra character that his brother can make use of. Alright, so there's their army. let's finish taking the remainder of this province. I could assault these, but I don't see any need to. They're not maneuvering on my territory, so if we just sit here, we should be fine. After years of careful planning, Codadad Sassanid has raised a large army of exiles, mercenaries, and hopefuls, declaring his intention to press his claim by force. So, you have a strong claim on the Sassanid Empire. I kind of assumed based on your name. And so you have a host. I'm curious. So the Sassanid Empire still exists, but the current emperor... Okay, so he's from House Sassanid as well. I guess it's just... Ah, okay. Got it. So younger brother is making a claim on the empire. Understood. Okay, and apparently he's marching through my territory to do this. I don't mind so long as he doesn't get any ideas. I'm going to go ahead and assault this. I'm getting impatient myself. Alright, let's move on. We'll destroy their army, and we'll have to besiege a few other territories, I imagine, to get enough war score. We'll see. Wiping out their army might give me a nice chunk. Okay, we captured somebody. Who is this? Your chief. I'm just gonna leave you in the dungeon for now. That only gave me about 8. Why doesn't it ever give me a general on the right flank? I don't think it matters right now. If we were actually fighting enemy armies, I would care. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it. We'll do that, and I'll put Aurelius Germanicus on the left flank. There we go. Okay, we'll close these. Trying to usurp my title. Who are you? And why are you even relevant? Okay. Make him disappear. We can make an attempt on his life. Try to bribe him. I'm going to save my gold and spend some piety here. I don't care if people know that I was trying to kill him. They succeeded. And there's no trace leading back to me. Perfect. So, he's dead. And that means that his son is now... I thought he was here. Was he not here? Was he one of these, maybe? No. I thought it led me to this province here. That's not him, clearly. I recognize that heraldry. Oh well. He's gone now, and his son has no legitimate claim as far as I'm aware, so I don't think it'll be a problem. Unless it was here? No, I don't recognize any of them either. That war's still going on, but more and more smaller factions are kind of splintering off from Italy. And so that's great for us because it makes our conquest that much easier. It means we're going to have to spend a lot of gold and prestige in order to do this. Okay, every time my nephew Remus meets a stranger, he looks like he might faint. Let's talk with him and see if we can make him gregarious, because gregarious is a really good trait, whereas shy is not a very good trait. I'm assuming he didn't get it. No, he didn't. Okay, but at least he's not shy. Prince Antonius needs a guardian. I am going to assign the bishop as his guardian, I think. I doubt we'll be lucky enough for him to ask to become a priest. But I plan on sending him off there anyways, and so we may as well, you know, train him up for it now. And I don't want to waste my time on him versus my nephews. I'm going to do that the slow way, because that's kind of a lot. Okay, they're executing captives on the walls, but they just strengthen our resolve. Got it. Well, how would they have taken captives? They haven't won a battle yet. Alright. Continue to gain relationship with them. They have forces scattered all over. I wonder where they're drawing from. Okay, so this is entirely mine now. 68%, so we'll still need a few more victories. Let's defeat what remains of their army here. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and besiege this. Oh, we got him. Perfect. Let's see. What to do. I have 2 prisoners, one of which is the leader of that faction. I can ransom them, and that's probably not a bad idea. But I need to use him to end this war, so I can only really ransom you. So off you go. If I ransom you and then end the war, can I still get the money? I mean, it's only 25 gold. I shouldn't risk it. I'd also kind of like to execute him. But that doesn't necessarily benefit me in any way, other than the fact that he's a really good character. But he's not going to have any land any longer. He only has 4 titles, and I'm about to take all of them. Well, actually, no. Okay, so I'm going to take those 2. Hold on. Okay, so that is a duchy. Got it. So he's got 2 counties, both of which will be mine. Duchy of Pannonia Inferior, which is probably just the duchy over those counties, and then the tribe of the Ostrogoths, or effectively this small petty kingdom of his. So yeah, all of his titles should become mine. And I don't know what will become of him after that. He's welcome to come join me, so long as he doesn't plot against me. But let's go ahead and enforce our demands. Great. There we go. We are threatening. It's only 8%, and that will bleed off fairly quickly. We can create a new title, the Kingdom of Pannonia. I'm going to hold off on that for now. Let's see. Oh, so he kept his lower titles. Very interesting. Because, again, in the description it seemed as if I would be given those titles. It was, you know, almost explicitly stated that that was the case. But it was apparently not, so I'm just going to leave it be for now. How much do you hate me? Is there any chance of recovering this relationship? Probably not. I don't think I can really assassinate you. Yeah. I could fabricate evidence of treason. But if I arrest him and kill him, the son will still hate me, and that doesn't really leave me any better off. If I give you a gift, then I'll raise it by 42, but how far are we in the negative? That's the question. Because we're beyond minus 100, that's just as far as the game will allow it to go. So yeah, I don't think throwing money at him is going to resolve the issue. What if I send you a gift? There we go, we'll get that into the green a little bit. And you're probably not long for this world anyway, so I might just try to be patient and let you die off. And then it's just a matter of moving against your son. Or I could just leave your son alone. I don't necessarily want him to have that much land, though. I'm trying to, like, keep every vassal as weak as possible by ensuring that they only have a single province and not any greater titles than that. So people are joining defensive pacts against me. That's fine. As long as I don't attack those defensive pacts, will be okay. They'll eventually dissolve. Wow. Okay. My nephew Romulus is a charitable little rascal. He just gave his newest toy to the smith's son. Okay, so that is the younger nephew. So he gains charitable and he likes me a little bit more. Let's see. A few people dislike me, but I get a bit of prestige. Oh, he gets a bit of prestige. I can get some piety for it. Let's just take the +5 relation with him and gain the charitable trait for him. Cool. Okay. So you're part of that. what's it called? Non-aggression pact, not non-aggression pact, defensive pact. So yeah, those people will all jump in. You are part of the Italian revolt, so I don't want to attack you. That would be unwise. I'm assuming you're probably part of that as well. Who's the actual leader here? Oh, you are. Okay. And it looks like... Are those your sons that are holding those land? That land? No. You have no family whatsoever. Okay. If I declare war on you, they did not join. Reconquest of Pannonia, again, will cost me 500 and 500. So probably not best to go about it that way. I can claim this territory in the name of other people. I don't necessarily want to do that, though. So I'm just going to wait. Because none of that territory is like... We're not desperate for any of it, so... I can always grab it later. I'd like to save my money and prestige in case I decide to take Italy. Or... well, actually, the northern province of Italy, like... Cisalpine Gaul is what the Romans would have called it. So basically... Gaul south of the Alpine mountain, not the Alpine mountains, the Alps. So basically like this right here. That is going to require me to spend that 500 gold and 500 prestige regardless of what happens with Italia, because nobody has a claim on that. I can't claim it in somebody else's name. But one thing I was thinking about, it's probably too early to do this though, and it's a shame because this guy is a worthy character of it, even though he does hate me, is I have the ability to make this title. So I can create the King of Pannonia, and then when I became emperor, I could make him King of Pannonia under me. However, he'll be long dead by that point. His son doesn't look to be as worthy. But, you know, we'll see. Obviously, we're going to have to allocate these titles, though, because they're going to start piling up. And I do need to start removing some of these people from office as well. So that is not the son, just another guy that looks vaguely like him. Once I've removed you from this seat, I might give you a new piece of land outside of my little cluster of provinces here. As the holy. Really? I'm not that pious. Okay. Maybe it's because we're fighting... Well, no, these guys are Christians as well, aren't they? You're a Christian, right? Oh, but you're Arian Christian. Oh. Heretics, then. Maybe that's why. We've defeated a lot of heretics in our time. But yes, these 7 provinces right here that make up Dalmatia, I would like to keep in my domain, and then I'll allocate the territories in Pannonia to others. Okay, so the defensive pact against us is already falling apart. Wow, and boy is it going quickly. Is this gonna trigger anytime soon? Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. What was this? Factions? Lower Crown Authority and Gavelkind Succession. Defensive pact has already been disbanded. Hold on. Okay, so how much gold is it going to take to shut you up? A lot. More than I want to spend. So, as long as nobody else joins that. But I do not want to have to deal with Gavelkind. I hate Gavelkind Succession. The only real way to deal with Gavelkind Succession is to basically only have one child. Or ensure that you only have one heir, whether, you know, you force the others to take the vows or what have you. Oh, somebody wants to arrange a marriage. Okay, so Faustina is the daughter of him. Do I want to do that? Of the Italian revolt. That could be bad. Because he is the leader of the Italian revolt, and there's a good chance he's going to die. I'm going to decline it. She died comatose in bed, so that her dying had nothing to do with the war, but still. There's a great chance he's going to be captured and executed, and his family will probably suffer a similar fate. So, I don't want to resign her to that. My nephew Remus is not exerting himself in his studies. I'm starting to despair. Okay, so Remus is the one we're trying to position as heir. We cannot allow him to be slothful. So we're going to talk to him about being diligent, because diligent is really, really good, and we can only hope that he will become diligent. Yes! We got lucky there. So basically a +1 to everything. Fantastic. And his bride-to-be doesn't have any other traits yet, but she is still a genius. We can only hope that their children inherit that trait. But as of right now, obviously it's kind of early to tell. So, you no longer have the defensive pact or whatever. The little brat Julius threw up on me while we were dining. Gross. We lose a prestige. Okay, so you offer vassalization. He will say yes. It's that or be conquered, right? So I will do that. Let's go ahead and offer vassalization. He will accept, and we make our domain just that little much more bigger. That was not proper English at all. Just that little bit larger. Cool. And eventually we will probably fold this territory under the larger... what would that be? What would the duchy be? Histria, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. Well, since he joined us willingly and we didn't have to take the territory by force, I might remember that moving forward and reward him for his loyalty. Someone's trying to usurp our title. I'm going to spend some more piety and make this guy disappear. We have Justinian, who's an absolute nobody. Okay, so... interesting. You don't have any titles. How can you... Okay. Yeah, just make him disappear. We're not above assassination, especially when they're completely irrelevant characters that nobody will miss. They failed miserably, and he continues his work. Does that create any blowback for us? Okay. This guy's arrived at my court. That is the younger brother that was trying to become Sassanid Emperor. The High Patriarch has died. He's been succeeded by High Patriarch Agatho. Let's see. Okay. It's good to know, I suppose. Right, so was that guy in my dungeon, or what was up with that? Threats. 80%. Has that faction... Really? Come on, man. Joining all this stuff against me? Even after I gave you money? I really need this plot to succeed so I can start moving on. I'm gonna go ahead and... Wait, on what province? Hang on, there's a lot happening right now. Ransom prisoner. I don't have him. Okay. I don't understand what's happening here. It says he's my prisoner, but he's not. And they're offering money for him. No, okay. So he's my courtier. He's imprisoned by some other person. Oh, this guy. Got it. So they're asking me, I completely misread that. They're offering his freedom to me for 10 gold. So I can pay 10 gold to free him. I'll accept. That's not a lot. And hopefully he'll be a little bit beholden to me for that. He's not that great a character or anything, but he does have a very strong claim on the Sassanid Empire, which if we ever decided to conquer the world, I guess that would come in handy. Yeah, let's do it. They're young. Who knows? Maybe down the line we'll have some Nepos children with claims on all the Roman empires. Because, again, what's his face? The nephew's father has claims on Eastern Roman Empire, Western Roman Empire, and Kingdom of Italy. So they will have those. And then maybe down the line, if they have a daughter or something, we can marry one of those Nepos children to one of these Sassanid children, and then they'll have a claim on basically every empire that exists. I'm gonna do it. I might give you a bit of land in my territory. I'm gonna throw a bit of money at you as well, just to make you like me a bit more. But I want something that will kind of root him in my territory. And so I think once I guess I could give him this. I didn't really want to hold that. And I'd like to keep this territory once I have it. So my only concern then is that if he ends up ruling something else, or if he has children that end up ruling something else, that could pass outside of my realm. That's my biggest concern. I don't remember where you came from, or why your eyes were missing. Let's see, you're also Persian? I guess we'll roleplay it like maybe Rostam was this guy's bodyguard or something and they put his eyes out for being loyal to him. Oh, okay. That's why I didn't remember, because he apparently was also with this guy. Okay, so yeah, maybe I was dead on with my little roleplay there. But yeah, so my only concern is that by landing him, I could create problems for myself in that this might pass outside of our realm, but that's kind of a risk giving territory to anybody. So I'm going to do it just to keep him around, because if I don't, he might leave my court and go elsewhere. And I want to keep that claim around, even though I'm probably never going to use it. So let's grant him the landed title of the prefecture of Ramia, because I never wanted to have it anyways. I'll include the lower titles. There you go. So congratulations there. And hopefully this will become mine soon. I'm going to try to get as many of these back as I can as well. But these I cannot keep within my domain. And they also don't fall within Dalmatia. They're part of... Actually, I guess technically they do, but we reclaim them as part of Pannonia. And so once... I think that's probably just because we haven't created that title yet. But I want to hold all of Dalmatia and have that be like our ancestral title or land. And then everything outside of that we'll give to other people. But I'd like to give them to loyal Romans where possible and get rid of some of these disloyal Ostrogoths. That's where we're going to end it for today. So next episode we'll see if this resolves itself and I'm able to go to war with them. If so, I think we'll go ahead and do it right away, because we have a pretty good numerical advantage against them. They're only able to muster about 2,000 troops, and they are losing men every day because they're at war. I'm able to muster, I think we had about 7,000 in that last war. So unless they call in significant armies from allies, we've pretty much got this. We can only take half of their kingdom at a time, though, and actually it might even be less than that, because we have a claim on this northern part, and then Italia itself, either through myself or through the father of our potential heirs. But I don't know if that includes the full peninsula or just the more central part of it. Either way, until this war is resolved, there's no reason to do it because we wouldn't be able to get all of the territory we would otherwise. So we're going to be patient and not rush. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Crusader Kings 2 with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.